Hello, everybody, and welcome to my part of this week's chapter review for One Piece, chapter 805. Now, this chapter was a pretty one heck of a setup chapter. We have our new cover story, which seems to be that we're going to be following these news coups birds as they deliver the news to the various parts of the world. I guess assuming the news of what the Straw Hats did and their new bounties, which means we'll for the first time get, I guess you would say, canon does new get to look at the new post time skip designs for characters. Some might not have changed much. Some might not even change at all, especially for the older characters. But so that's definitely going to be an interesting one. Which this is going to that this cover story is going to be turned into an episode or two, since they're going to find whatever they can to stretch things out. Of course, I don't know why they haven't done like some sort of OVA series or filler arcs based on, or not filler arcs, but arcs, or should I say, turning the cover stories into episodes, so that way they can, give us more information, as well as, stall for time for the manga. But that's besides the point. There are several things that we learned in this chapter. First and foremost, that apparently Luffy went on ahead to the whale forest and kind of get pissed off just by entering it. Got pissed off the Guardians, and he gets into a fight with them. So we also see that they try to ask the group, that Zoro's group tries to ask Wanda, the Nami-looking dog mink, what happened, what happened to their friends, and how'd she get those clothes. However, she doesn't really answer. She just gives them directions to where their friends' corpses are, giving the impression that they are dead. Now, since she said this after they asked her about their friends and how she got those clothes, belong to one of their friends, you would assume that, maybe she got them off Nami's corpse. Well, as Zoro pointed out, no, Sanji's there. He is, he might not be Yonko level. He might not even, he's not Yonko level. He's not Admiral level. But for sure as hell, he's not no scrub. So he is not going to be taken out easily. Now, based on the timeline that this incident happened about less than half a month ago, that just ravaged the place by Jack, and the fact that we saw them there about 2 weeks ago, so they might have been there when the attack, which most likely means they were probably there and present when the attack happened. We also learned in this chapter that the Mink Men seem to have this either some sort of device or some sort of ability to utilize some type of electric attack in their bodies. So we also find out that Law apparently sent his crew here, assuming that he was going to be dying trying to take out Doflamingo. So that's a positive there. We got to see Beppo and the rest of the Heart Pirates as they try and stop the Guardians and Luffy from fighting each other, because that would be bad. And he tries to tell them, hey, look, we are, he's my friend, and I'm a mink too, which we find out in this chapter officially that Beppo's a mink. And so we just get to see more. And of course, as Luffy's fighting these Guardians, the Carrot and Wanda show up and offer the Guardians thing that throws an item in each of their faces to distract them and calm them down, I guess, in a sense. We also see, their official introductions, Carrot and Wanda. And of course, Luffy has one of the funniest lines in the entire chapter, where it's like, wow, this place is or this crazy place sure is full of a bunch of weirdos. It's like a whole country of choppers, which when you think about it, that's pretty much what a chopper is he's a furry. He's basically I guess you would say, an artificial mink, because he became a mink because he was an animal that ate the human fruit, whereas these are just natural born, I guess, minks. These are so you could say Chopper's a reindeer mink. So, then you see this Wanda look like she's friggin', might be trying to kiss him or lick Luffy or something, or sniff him or whatever. And then we also noticed that apparently there was tons of Guardians waiting in the wings to attack Luffy. And then this sort of ominous message from Wanda saying just be thankful the moon isn't out right now, which I'm guessing they're probably more powerful at night. And then we have this whole funny joke short running gag between Luffy and Beppo, where Luffy's referring to Law by the nickname he gave him, which was Trophy, or Trial Guy, depending on which translation, and Beppo's like, oh, well, I have no idea who you're talking about. We're the subordinates of Trafalgar Law. And then he's like, oh, and then Luffy's like, oh, finally explains to him. It's like, oh, Traffy is what I call Law. They're like, oh my god, I had no idea. Captain's really here, yay! And then Robin doing her job for like the first time since Skypiea, which is why a lot of people, one of the many things that correlates this arc to Skypiea, and that she actually has ruins to explore and analyze, and basically gives the information that it's been very short amount of time. And so, needless to say, the city's destroyed, claw marks all over the place, giant footprint of some massive beast that invaded, and that apparently this once thriving city was destroyed not even maybe a week or two ago. So, as we come to find out from Wanda, it was Jack. So now this super hypes up Jack as being insanely powerful, because if these mink people are this powerful, or as powerful as we've seen, now granted, we only saw the Guardians were fighting Luffy, but Luffy wasn't going serious, and it didn't seem like he was having much trouble with them, so they might not be as strong as we think, but the fact that Jack could do some serious damage to this country with how powerful they seem on average, goes a long way to showcase how strong he is. Then, of course, at the end of the chapter, the eruption rain's about to come again, so they have to leave. Wanda offers them a ride on the crocodile. Probably some sort of banana gator. I don't know. I have to actually look at it again. And then he says like, "Oh, I'll take you to the right belly where your friends are." And Luffy's like, "So Sanji and the others really are here. That's a relief." And then she makes some sort of type of weird face and then says, "Wait, could it be?" Or no, she doesn't say, "Wait, could it be?" It's like a sort of note, and with that grim-looking face, it's like, "Oh, wait a minute, is it possible they actually are dead, or did she just find Brook and think because he's a skeleton that he's dead, and or there were some dead bodies there that were unrecognizable, and she found some of this Nami's clothes either on or near them, and said, oh well, if these must have belonged to these people, and if they belong to, and if these clothes belong to their Straw Hat's friends, then these corpses must belong to them." So, and it's overall, I think that this was a very good setup chapter. No one in their right mind who's a fan of this series should in any way believe that the Straw Hats are dead. I mean, Oda is not someone who would kill off half of the main characters off screen. They're probably hiding somewhere. And once again, we have to stress very much, the last time we saw them, which was I guess about 2 weeks ago when this incident probably happened, they all were wearing different outfits, including Nami. So all those fantasies of you guys saying, oh, since Wanda has Nami's clothes, then that must mean that Nami's running around naked somewhere. No, that's just not how it works. If anything, she was probably somehow had these clothes on her with her, and she just lost them when they got maybe. I mean, at best, she's probably who knows. You know what? Who knows? We have to stop theorizing. We just gotta wait until next week. Hopefully, since everyone seems to be heading towards that area where the other Straw Hats are supposed to be. It's assumed, I would think, that next week we will see what's the situation with them. So this brings a lot of potential for this arc, and so I hope you all enjoyed this review. Good chapter, very good, and hope to see you all next week.
Alright, it's time to talk about One Piece. Now, this chapter 805, I do like what they're doing with the cover page now. The cover story is going to be like reactions to like Luffy's new bounty, which is cool. Um, so anyway, let's get into this. So the whole introduction to this mink tribe. Um, I'm not really sure how I feel about it right now. You can tell. I mean, obviously, there's gonna be some furry shit, but at the same time, um, I don't know. But apparently Beppo is one of them, so whatever. Let's see. So apparently the attack that Zoro took had some electricity, but it didn't seem to hurt him all that bad. Which I guess means that perhaps NL wouldn't do so much damage to Zoro right now. I don't know. But who knows? You never know what the degree of electricity, but I digress. So they basically said that their friends are dead. Do I believe it? Hell no. It was probably Brook. I mean, they always mistake Brook for being dead. Um, why wouldn't you? He's a fucking skeleton. So, yeah, they're not dead. But it was kind of funny with Robin doing the whole sadistic bullshit as usual. Um, and then she speculated cannibalism, and then the fact that corpses are still intact. So like the fact that they couldn't been eaten, just like what the hell. And of course Zoro saying that Sanji's with him, they're not gonna die. Even Sanji's getting some respect out of Zoro. Like damn. I mean, it's obvious. Like they obviously respect the hell out of each other. Um, they just hate each other's guts. That's all. Which is funny because that's more than we can say about the fan base. Um, Zoro and Sanji fanboys, don't respect each other's positions, but yet the characters they're fanboying over can respect each other. I myself am a Zoro fanboy, but I love Sanji, so I can't. Um, I'm not gonna like sit there and say Sanji sucks, but obviously Zoro's better. But anyway, there's not much else to talk about besides, I mean, Beppo. I mean, there was some comedy stuff, I guess, um, with, of course, Luffy calling Trafalgar Law Torao, and he's like, "Who the hell is Torao? We only know a Trafalgar Law." Um, and of course, they eventually come to the understanding that they're going to be able to see Law again. Um, yeah. So, yeah. Last thing I guess we got to talk about is fucking Jack. Captain Jack Sparrow, I think. But, nah. Who knows? There could be a Captain Jack Sparrow reference. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Pirates of the Caribbean reference in here somewhere. But, if Jack, I mean, I don't think Jack's going to be based off that Jack, but, whatever. So the person who laid waste to this country, and I quote, was Jack. Samurai Jack. But, of course, we're assuming that, that giant gate that got busted down was from him as well. I mean, that's not that big of a feat compared to some of the shit that we've seen already, so whatever. And as you all know, Jack is going to attack Fujitora to get Doflamingo back, so we'll see if he can, I guess, survive or even manage to win. We'll see. It would definitely be a huge twist if Fujitora loses to Jack. I don't see it happening, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it. The chapter was okay, and yeah, see you next time.